Hello and welcome back to another demonstration video. I'm Paul Davis from Cambrian Photography, and today we're going to be talking about how to clean your sensor in your camera. But before we get started, please make sure that you like this video, that you share it sort of wherever you share your videos. That'll be absolutely fantastic. That gives us the support and needs that we need to keep on delivering this wonderful content to you. So, is sensor cleaning a hard or scary thing to do? Not really, you just need the right equipment and the time and patience to actually do it. We're going to talk you through a couple of things that you might need and a couple of techniques as well. And then it's up to you whether you want to sort of go ahead and clean your camera yourself, or you can send it into a professional service like ourselves, which can clean the camera for you. How do you know when your sensor is dirty? Well, you'll be able to tell by the actual looking at your pictures. So you'll notice that your pictures will have maybe some black or grey, sort of very small dots on them. This indicates actually dust on the sensor, and this would be the time when you'd want to start thinking about doing a sensor clean on your camera. It's not the end of the world if you don't clean your sensor when you start seeing these dots. It won't do any damage to your camera, it's just a lot easier to clean when they first start appearing. If you are thinking about doing a sensor clean yourself, there are a couple of little things that we're going to talk about that might help you do this. The first thing we're going to look at is Workspace, where you're going to do your sensor clean. You want to pick a room in your house that's fairly quiet and clean. Also have a sort of desk ready where you can actually carry out your sensor clean. Where we do the sensor cleans in Cambrian Photography, we have a dedicated room where we do all the cleaning, making sure that it's a minimal place where people come in and out to stop sort of dust coming up off the surfaces or off the floor. You need to make sure that you give yourself time to do a sensor clean. Here at Cambrian Photography, it typically takes us an hour to do them. The service that we offer is a 24-hour service due to we might have several sensor cleans that we're doing in one day. I would allow at least an hour to do a sensor clean, maybe more depending on how dirty your sensor is. The equipment that we sell is the same equipment that we use ourselves to do our customer sensor cleans. The company that we use is called Visible Dust, one of the most popular sensor cleaning companies on the market, and they offer a range of items from swabs, solutions and blowers. There's a lot of different kits that you can actually buy when it comes to swabs. I'm going to show you probably one of the most popular ones, which is the green 1.6. This is going to be able to be used in most DSLR cameras with an APS-C chip. It's always advisable to probably get a blower as well. So typically you can use these on lenses, but they're great for starting off a sensor clean to get rid of any sort of big bits that might be sort of lying on your sensor. So let's jump straight into cleaning one of my cameras. Today I'm going to be cleaning the Olympus EM5 Mark II. This has a micro four thirds sensor. I am going to be using the 1.6 swab, but rather than sort of moving it sort of horizontally through the system, I'm going to be using it vertically. This is absolutely fine as well. Also with the green swab, I'm going to be using the VDust Plus solution. Now this is the solution that you can use that's going to be a lot of general use. It can remove sort of water stains and oil stains at the same time. And don't forget including your dust as well. So I'm going to take my camera, I'm going to take off the lens, and on most mirrorless bodies it will actually show you straight to the sensor. There are some models where you do need to do a cleaning mode which will move the shutter out the way and gain access to the actual sensor. On this model I can go straight in and see the sensor, so I can do a clean with the camera off. So the one thing I want to do before starting with the swab is I want to just give the camera a quick blowout with a blower. Make sure that your blower is fairly kept in a clean environment as well. It will store sort of dust inside, so keeping your blower clean is very important as well. We're going to hold the camera upside down, I think this makes me feel better, thinking the dust is going to sort of fall out the camera. There's probably some sort of sense in there. And I'm going to take the blower, and I'm just going to squeeze it. And this is going to remove any big bits of dust that are in the chamber. I'm going to put the camera down onto my work desk. I'm going to take the green 1.6 swab, take it out of the packet, open up the solution and apply the solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the solution to both sides of this swab. And what you'll start to see is the solution sort of soak into the middle of the swab as well. Close the lid. Now, as soon as we've sort of applied the solution onto the swab, it's starting to attract dust sort of straight away. So moving back to where I said about working in a sort of fairly cleanish room, obviously the less dust you've got about in the room, it's going to attract less dust actually onto the swab itself. I'm going to now look into my camera. Now with most cameras, what you'll do is you'll sort of start one side and then move to the other. With this camera, what we're going to do is we're going to do an up-down movement. So I'm going to start at the top, just up here. Now with this particular body, it does have image stabilizer in the body, so I can actually move the sensor around. So if you start things moving, that's absolutely fine, that is normal. And I'm going to move down and then sort of bring my brush out, and we've done a sensor clean. A good way of checking whether your sensor is absolutely clean is that we can switch the camera on, put the lens back on first, move on to aperture priority, move our aperture all the way to f22, and we're going to take a picture of a blank wall. Now what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to blur everything in the frame except the dust that's going to show up on my sensor. And the way that we do that is I'll just quickly focus on something, hold it up to a blank wall, and I'm going to move the camera around as it explodes. Now when I go back to look at my picture, the only thing that's going to be sharp and viewable on the picture is going to be those black or grey marks. And we can see whether we've done a successful sensor clean or not. Now, from a cost point of view, is it cheaper to sort of bring it into a professional person like ourselves or clean the camera yourself? Most of the time, you're going to be able to do a sensor clean on one swab. Now, like I mentioned before, these swabs will attract dust the longer that you leave them out. So you may need to use 2, 3 or 4 swabs to actually fully complete a sensor clean, depending on how long they're going to be out of the packet for. We sell the swabs and solutions and blowers that you'll need to actually fully complete a sensor clean yourself, and hopefully with this video you're able to follow along and do a sensor clean. Typically you're going to be spending about £30 on a brush and the solution that you need to get you started. This would be a starter pack, so normally you'd get 5 of the swabs and the solution that you'd need to go onto those swabs. Our most popular seller is a kit that comes with the 5 swabs, the solution that you'll need, and also a little light that sits on the end of your swab so you can actually see what you're doing while you're doing a sensor clean. If you don't feel that you have the space or time, or possibly you don't want to go through a million swabs doing a sensor clean, and if you want to bring it into a place like ourselves, we offer the sensor cleaning service for £45 and is a turnaround of 24 hours. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions about sensor cleaning, drop them in the comments below. And as always, if you can like and share these videos, that's absolutely fantastic. The more you share and like videos, the better it is for us, so we can keep delivering this awesome content for you. Thank you very much and goodbye.